So for me, running from my first trafficker, I honestly contemplated suicide every single day. I was with my first pimp for about 2 months or so. And I got to this point, where I just wanted to die. It had worked for my brother, and it was always a solution in my head that I could just end my own life. And I remember meeting this guy. I thought he was going to be a trick in a parking lot, a strip club parking lot. And he didn't turn into a trick, which means a sex buyer. That's what we call sex buyers.
Okay.
And so I gave him my phone number, or he gave me his phone number, sorry. And I started sneaking around to payphones to call this guy. And I remember weighing those two options when I thought about running. It was either commit suicide or give this guy a try. Maybe he would be that love, right? That romantic interest, that partner, because I knew I couldn't do it alone. I was 17, high school dropout, right? Like using drugs. Like I knew I was floundering and needed help. I just didn't want to reach out to my family because I thought they would judge me and shun me. I knew they would just probably throw me back in the girls' home, throw me back in jail that they had put me in. And so I had this, and also, you have this idea that like, no, I just want to make it on my own. When you're those teenage years,
the longer it goes, the more that becomes a prominent thought too. You're like, now I'm 20 something, now I'm whatever, 30. Mm-hmm. Now you really feel like you need to be self-sufficient, independent, right?
Yeah, definitely. And so I, at one point, this guy, he was 20 years older. Like I said, I started sneaking around at payphones to call him. And at one point a woman answered his phone, but he told me it was his secretary. And here I was literally starved by my first trafficker. I only had enough front money each night, meaning the amount of money that he would allow us to have in our pocket, to stop at the gas station and get like a candy bar and a Coke. Many days that would be all I would have to eat all day. Maybe if it was a good night on the track, which is the Blade or the known area of prostitution, if it was a good night at work, then I would maybe flirt with the dudes at the Burger King, me and the other girls would, to try to get free food from them. And that would be what I had to eat every single day. And so, I was in this miserable situation, and here was this new lifeline of someone that I thought was cute. Right. And I thought, well, maybe I can give this guy a try. I can always kill myself later, as I remember making that decision. And so I ran into the arms of that guy, and he groomed me for months,